Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Nice to have you with us here on your live and local station, Beach FM 106.3. Yeah, well, finally, I can catch up with my good friend, Grant Nisbett, and talk a bit of sport over the weekend. Nisbett, nice to have you with us. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button, obviously.
What are you doing, Ron?
I know, all over the place, really. It's having that tooth out, mate. It's taking away my brain.
It's thrown your equilibrium.
It has as well. Is that what it is? Yeah, equilibrium.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to have one of those scans next week. God, I'm falling apart, mate.
You are, mate.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well, it is what it is. All right, let's talk the Hurricanes to wrap up their season. It was a bit of average performance from them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't their best by any means. I mean, it was a tough day for them. They had to be at Wellington Airport at sort of 8 o'clock, and they flew down and they went directly from the airport in a bus to the stadium, where they hung around in the dressing room, had a bite to eat and probably a bit of a lie down, some of them. Then they had to go out and play, and then they jumped on a flight and came home again. So, I mean, it wasn't a normal day. So a lot of things were in the Highlanders' favour here, plus the home ground advantage, I suppose, even though there was no one there. But, it wasn't a great way to finish their campaign because they'd been on a good roll. They'd had 5 in a row and they'd looked pretty damn good. But they just didn't quite front up on the day. I mean, they had 3 tries disallowed, but, they weren't given. I think fair enough, they weren't given. And so they have to put that one down to experience, I suppose. Yeah,
they're better than that, though, isn't it? When you look back on it, and those 5 wins in a row, sort of felt, well, maybe, they can knock over the Crusaders again, and maybe we could be the best there is.
Yeah, of course there was no final, so that was never going to happen, unfortunately. But I think the signs are pretty good. There's some good young talent coming through, and I think Peter Umaga Jensen is a bloke we're going to see a fair bit of in the years to come. Of course, Geordie's going to be around for another season. Duplessis Karifi had a good year. O'Moore, if Coles is not fit, is Tyrell Lomax. I think they've got the basis of a pretty damn good team, and they haven't got many vacancies for next year, so it'll be very interesting to see what they do. They're going to lose Ben May, I think, and a couple others, but it's very little disruption out of the camp, really, so I think they can feel pretty good about next season.
Yeah, well, they should too, and it's good to see, and it's good to see these guys coming back as well and want to be involved with it instead of shooting off overseas. But I said, that's the way of the world as well. Hey, what about this North-South clash, which we don't know whether it's going to be played or here or there or anywhere? What's your take on it?
Well, it very much depends on what they say next Wednesday. The problem is they're going to come to Wellington to train, which means the Auckland players presumably have to get dispensation because if you live in Auckland, you're not supposed to leave Auckland. So I imagine they'll have to be tested and given some sort of, dispensation, as I said before. And so they're coming to Wellington to train. But if they can play the game in Auckland, I'm sure they'll want to do that because, that's New Zealand's biggest ground. If they can build that up, it's going to be worth a lot of money to them. So all really depends on what the government says. If Auckland's not the venue, then it's going to be in Wellington. So I guess we just have to wait and see.
I'm looking at. I don't know whether you've seen the lineup for it, but there seems like there's about 40 players playing in it.
Yeah, awful lot, aren't there?
Yeah, or more.
But I guess they want all those guys to train together so they can have a good look at their fitness and all sorts of different things. I think there's 3 hookers in each team, and there's probably 4 or 5 props. And but I think we can learn a few things out of it. Who they like and who they don't like. But yeah, there do seem to be an awful lot of players there.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe how many are playing there. They can't all get on, that's for sure. I wouldn't have thought.
No, exactly.
What about the golf over the weekend? Did you take a look at that?
Lydia Ko, you mean, or?
No, not Lydia. The blokes.
No, I didn't actually. I didn't. I spent more time watching the snooker. I was one of my great sporting heroes is Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he won another world title. I think it's 5 now, or might even be 6. Just a remarkable talent, and the fact that he can turn around and cue the ball left-handed, he very rarely ever has to use a rest, where a lot of guys have to put the cue on a rest to play a shot. Ronnie just turns around and plays it left-handed. Just a phenomenal talent. So I've got to be honest with you, I didn't see any golf, but I saw a fair bit of snooker.
Yeah, well, that's good too. Where was that on? I never got to see it.
Oh, one of the channels. I couldn't tell you exactly. You have to go down the list a wee bit, but it was a bit bizarre because right up until the final, there wasn't an audience, but then they allowed people in, so it created quite a nice atmosphere in the famous Crucible Theatre in Sheffield, of course. I just think snooker is it's a bit like dart. It's a great TV sport.
Oh, it is. No doubt about it. Boy, he's been around forever, though, too, hasn't he? How old would he
Ronnie's
be?
44.
Oh, is that all? I thought he might be older.
So, yeah, he's not ancient. There are guys older than that, but he's only one off, I think, who is it now? Stephen Hendry won 7 world titles, so Ronnie is up on 6 along with several others, so one more and he'll join Henry.
Phew, that's unbelievable. I didn't realise he'd won that many, to be honest. And
no, I didn't either.
Yeah, and I thought he was probably over. I thought he was probably over 50 too.
No. So he's got a fair bit of good snooker left in him.
For sure, he has. They're not frightened of a drink either, those boys, are they?
No, they're unafraid.
Unafraid. All right, mate. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll catch up with you. I'll have a chat.
Good on you, Ron.
Okay.
Take it easy.
That is my good friend Grant Nisbett here on your live and local station, Beach FM.
106.3 Beach FM.